If you visit the Frey Foundation office in the historic Downtown Trust Building and you look to the east, you'll see that Grand Rapids Community College and the Frey Foundation are just a stone's throw apart. Our locations reflect more than just proximity. They reflect a shared community and, in some ways, a shared history.
I discovered that my mother, in 1932, got her associate's degree from Grand Rapids Community College. Also, my brother John went to community college. And my brother-in-law, Jim McKay, is a graduate. And myself, I was at junior college starting in '63 and a student body representative. Obviously, they had a great impact on my life.
GRCC is the product of all those who've attended and of countless individuals from the community who have worked to support us. Each generation of the Frey family is important to the success of the college, and they have had a sustaining impact on the progress of this community.
Both sides, my mother's side and my father's side, have been involved in Grand Rapids, basically in community building. And it's amazing enough that the original areas of involvement really have not changed with the next generation. It is very important to the Frey Foundation, the communities we live in. It is important the environment, important the arts, important early childhood intervention. Our continual emphasis is really on the total community and the health of that community.
Tonight, we will have a chance to hear from individuals who have benefited from these focus areas, which complement each other the same way our two organizations do, leveraging resources together to create something greater than what we started with.
Everything we do makes an impact. That's why I'm so interested, and my goal in life is to leave the place a better place than when I originally came. We were lucky enough and fortunate enough to maybe have some assets to make that change happen. And how to utilize them is always the question.
Sancte Spiritus, Veni Sancte Spiritus, Sancte Spiritus, Veni Sancte Spiritus, Tui amoris in eim accende, et tui amoris in eis accende, qui felicitate linguarum vocarum, gentes in unitate fidei congregasti. Veni Sancte Spiritus, Veni Sancte Spiritus, et tuorum corda fidelium, Veni, Tui amoris in eis ignem ascende, Repe accende, Veni Sancte Spiritus, Veni Sancte Spiritus, Veni, Veni, Veni. Alleluia, 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 Alleluia.
The Frey Foundation understands that our quality of life depends in part on maintaining the balance between open land and well-planned development. To that end, the Foundation has supported efforts to restore and protect land and watersheds.
You know, when we talk about West Michigan and the ethos in this area, there's always been that very strong connection to the land, whether it's farming, boating, commercial navigation. And so I think Frey recognizes that. They see where people have placed their values in this region, around the water, and around the environment, and they want to invest in that to make sure that people's quality of life continues to be as excellent as possible.
The environment was very important to us. I remember doing my early sailing on Lake Michigan and seeing all sorts of crap in the lake. So it drove me to say what the consequences of not doing anything about it, not caring for your environment, of not really being absolute convinced that what we do makes an impact on later generations.
We want our science that we do at the Institute and that Frey helps to fund, we want that science to have strong management implications. While we're certainly interested in the intellectual curiosity around these scientific questions, they must have some real-world management implications because we want to help inform the best natural resource management possible in the work that we do.
Protecting the environment. Another way the Frey Foundation works in partnership with many dedicated conservation organizations and funders in the region to improve our community and quality of life. Community arts are another area the Foundation has supported. Its commitment is evident across this great community. but was particularly present during Art Prize this year at Site Lab's Rumsey Street project.
It's a collaboration between Habitat for Humanity, Site Lab, and the Roosevelt Park neighborhood. Habitat reached out to us a while ago and asked if we'd be interested in using this amazing space that they acquired, which covers roughly 5 acres and currently 10 buildings. And they asked if we'd be interested in doing a Art Prize project here, and we said yes.
For the past 2 years, the Frey Foundation has provided artist seed grants to help Art Prize artists create work that otherwise might not see the light of day. Artists like Filippo Tagliati, a photography professor at GRCC.
What do you see now on the billboard? It is the condition of the building at the present time. So I spent quite a few time inside for the shooting parts. So I brought the interior outside. That required a lot of effort and time, but also money. So at the time was like thinking, is this affordable in a general way? So let's say the Frey Foundation allow me to create this work. Otherwise, without that grant, I don't think I would be able to do what you see right now behind me. So it made possible this project.
I was really excited to see that Frey Foundation was doing this last year because it's very rare, especially in Michigan, for foundations to do any sort of direct funding to artists.
The Frey Foundation is doing an excellent job in terms of supporting artists who are interested in a cultural dialogue that allows us to sort of think about the role of the artist in society, that allows us to think about the role of art in society, and what does that mean in terms of bettering ourselves as a culture. And I think the Frey Foundation is aware of that, and they're putting their money where their value is.
Of all the focus areas, perhaps the one for which the Frey Foundation is best known is enhancing the lives of children and families. For decades, the Foundation has supported programs that promote education and healthy development of children. So it's no surprise that the connection to GRCC's Child Development Program is strong.
It is a marvelous, marvelous thing. Obviously, we've been involved since day one of the Frey Foundation. Once we were endowed, we became very active in children's care. The whole range, and when we said early intervention, we were talking about families also.
Throughout the history of the program, essentially when there's been an opportunity or a need to be able to dig a little deeper on a project, Frey Foundation has been open and willing to hear our ideas, support what makes sense, and push us too to think bigger and to think more how that impacts your students and families and children, but how could it support the bigger early childhood field.
This long-term relationship has resulted most recently in the Foundation's support for a new early childhood center at Grand Rapids Community College.
I just think that's such value added for not only our program, but the future building and what that brings for the whole community. We're lucky. We're lucky to have that, and that they have been there consistently throughout our whole journey of being open. It's a long-established partnership.
In fact, everyone at GRCC is grateful to have such a strong, supportive neighbor and partner, whether the area is the environment or the arts, early childhood, or building community. We share a mission for serving the communities we are a part of.
One of the great things about the community college is that it covers the whole gamut. It's not just for the young, it's for the whole community. That's why it says community college on it.
I'm so glad you all are having a wonderful time talking with one another. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kathy Mullins, and it is my honor and privilege to serve as the Vice President for College Advancement and the Executive Director of the GRCC Foundation. I want to welcome you all to Scholarfest 2015. I want you to know that you're the largest crowd we've ever had at this event. And I want to say thank you to all our friends and supporters here tonight. Tonight we have the privilege of honoring the Frey Foundation, and I would like to take a moment to recognize the Frey family members and the Frey Foundation board members who are in attendance. Thank you for all that you do for our community. I would also like to acknowledge the Grand Rapids Community College Board of Trustees in attendance this evening, the GRCC Foundation board members that are in attendance, and all of the retired trustees that are here with us tonight. Thank you so much for coming. We have many people to thank for the success of this event, and as such, I would like to acknowledge and thank our honorary committee members, whose names you'll see listed on the monitors in front of you. I would also like to thank the foundation staff, Aaron Sisler, Mary Reed, Anne-Marie Burr, and Lisa Brown. I have an amazing team, and none of this tonight could have happened without them. Thank you, ladies. And to our media department, thank you. You are the very best. And last, but certainly not least, I would like to thank all of our sponsors for tonight's event. You will see their names listed on the monitors in front of you, as well as displayed on the banners located throughout the room. Please pay close attention to this list, as these organizations are as committed to the economic vitality of this region as we are at GRCC. And we would very much appreciate your ongoing support and business for these sponsors. Thank you, sponsors. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the Grand Rapids Community College Foundation Chairperson, Dave Custer. Dave is a wonderful leader that has been one of the foundation's biggest advocates for many years. He is a proud GRJC alum and never misses an opportunity to share his story for the betterment of the foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Custer.
Thanks, Kathy. I'd love to tell my stories. Anybody here not heard my story? I think I tell it every time I get in front of a mic, but I love Grand Rapids Community College, and I love what it did for me and my journey after high school, and so I'm honored to be up here. Thank all of you for coming. This is one of my favorite nights. There's all kinds of galas in the spring and fall, and this is my favorite one because you don't have to wear a tux, and you could be here in jeans if you wanted, and we wouldn't care. We'd just love having you here. So thank you so much for coming and your support for the college. I also want to thank everybody that was involved in tonight's event, the faculty, the staff, the students, and it was hard hearing the students sing because we all were having so much fun visiting, but let's give them a hand again. We're going to hear more from them later on in the evening, so we'll look forward to that. It's my pleasure to introduce a good friend of mine and a colleague, and it's Dr. Steve Ender. Steve came here 4 or 5 years ago, I think, and he's just done a terrific job. He's not afraid to raise money. That's what I like the best about him. But he's done a terrific job as president of the college. He's been a good friend, and we're just so lucky to have him, and it's my honor to introduce him right now. Steve Ender.
Well, my goodness, that 4 or 5 years turned into 7 pretty quickly, David. Well, I'm delighted to be with all of you tonight. I certainly want to thank everyone in attendance for supporting our Scholarfest. Your support of GRCC means so much to our college community, and as always, I am personally grateful to everyone that's attending. It was kind of special tonight. We brought in 45 of our students who are here because of your scholarships, and we did a little briefing, before they came, and I was very clear about a couple of things. One, no one will bite you in that room. You do not have to worry about that. 2, this is a marvelous opportunity to network with folks that live in Grand Rapids who have the ability to make connections for you. And 3, unfortunately, no drinking. I know that the first 2 probably occurred. I'm unsure how the third one went, to be honest with you. As Kathy and I began to think about the event for this year, and I also, big kudos to Vice President Mullins and her team. Kathy took on the role of our Vice President for Advancement in June of this year, and little preparation had really begun except for some talk about who would we like to honor. And she took this as a first-time event with that team, and as she said, this is a large room, so it doesn't seem like we have 300 people here, 300 plus, but we do. And just as important, and perhaps more important for our students, this event tonight is going to clear about $110,000 in student scholarships. And truly, at the end of the day, that is why we do what we do. It's for the students in this room. You know, the Frey Foundation has supported the mission of GRCC for more than 40 years. You know, as a matter of fact, the foundation's first donation to the college came in 1974, the very year that this foundation was established. The Frey Foundation was the first local foundation to support the work of our newly created preschool program. Their donation was used to help support GRC students who needed child care for their children while they attended our school. From the very beginning, the Frey Foundation recognized the importance of ensuring that children receive a quality child care and educational experience. They understood, even then, that children are, in fact, our future. And by attending quality schools, the result of our community is the creation of a skilled workforce in a prosperous region. As you saw in the videos tonight, collaboration is at the core of everything that the Frey Foundation does, and it is this collaborative and transformational work that mirrors the work that our college does to make West Michigan a better place to live, work, and play. In addition to children, the Frey Foundation is focused on the arts as a key indicator of community health and as a powerful tool for individual expression. As such, the Frey Foundation has collaborated with GRCC to assist with the renovation of our music building. As you all have enjoyed our students' musical performances this evening, you can see that the Frey Foundation, through their generosity, provides our students and our greater community an opportunity for cultural engagement. This cultural engagement improves the health and overall quality of life for those of us in West Michigan. As a community, the Frey Foundation has given us much to be thankful for. They actively work to support the passions of the community for the transformation of our region. And finally, as I mentioned passion and transformation, I would be remiss if I failed to mention that both John and Ted Frey are GRJC alums. And Ted served as a GRCC Foundation, as a foundation member for several years. John and Ted are amazing examples of the students we serve and graduate from GRCC for the betterment of our community. And I would add, when I came to the college 7 years ago and began to meet people in this community, Grand Rapids Community College was different than any community college I had been exposed to. It started as a junior college. In fact, we just celebrated 100 years of our proud history last year. And I would constantly meet people that were physicians, architects, engineers, dentists, people in the professions that when I met them would puff up and say, well, you know, I started at GRJC. I am totally convinced that we would live in a different region if this college had not been here for the past 100 years. And it's, I guess, an honor and very much a sense of pride for me that I believe that same impact that we made back when the brothers were here is the same impact that we're making today. Thanks to all of you, tonight's event is the most successful Scholarfest event in the history of GRCC Foundation, and I'm delighted to introduce to you Mr. David Frey. David.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, David. Thank you, Kathy. I've got a couple of remarks to share with you. And yes, we have a long affiliation with Grand Rapids Community College. But let me give you a little bit of history, which some of you may know, but some may not. And that is that a gentleman by the name of Jesse Buttrick Davis accepted the position of principal of the then new Central High School in Grand Rapids in 1911. That's more than a couple years ago. He did not have enough students to fill the classrooms. It's called the empty seat syndrome. So what does he do? He approached Bill Greason, the superintendent of Grand Rapids Public Schools, and proposed the establishment of a junior college to fill them. Great idea. Davis was familiar with the junior college movement, and he convinced Greason that he could run the college at no expense to Grand Rapids taxpayers by instituting a small fee for tuition. So Davis's curriculum and staffing plans received the blessing of the University of Michigan. Familiar institution, most of it. It was not a good day for some on Saturday, which would become the main transfer institution, the principal transfer institution, and Grand Rapids Junior College was open for business in September of 1914 with 49 students. It was the first junior college in Michigan, and Davis became its first president. Not a surprise. Students in the early years came primarily from the city of Grand Rapids, not totally unlike today, and they selected the college so they could take nearly the same curriculum available at the University of Michigan for considerably less tuition and a potential transfer to Ann Arbor. Now let me speak briefly to some of Steve's comments. The Frey Foundation's relationship does go back a number of years. It began in the 70s, but the family ties go back nearly half a century before that. That's a long time. And I'll just share with you, both my brothers attended this great college, and my late mother, Frances Tolliver, easy to pronounce, difficult spelling, received her associate's degree in arts in 1932, which happened to be the same year that my father graduated from the University of Michigan. Now, there are better-known graduates of the university, of this college, than my mother, although she's pretty famous in our family. Ed Cole, who became the president of General Motors, the class of 1928, and Arnold Gingrich, co-founder and editor of Esquire magazine, also attended Grand Rapids Community College, graduated in the class of 1928. And known to some, but maybe not all, actress Elizabeth Wilson, a veteran of more than 30 movies, I mean, that's a bunch, including The Graduate and Catch-22, graduated in 1941. Now, the college has grown from its first few classrooms at Central High School to encompassing a sprawling downtown campus and 5 academic facilities in Ottawa County to serve students along the lakeshore. The school offers degrees and certificates in 30 academic fields. I looked at every single one of them. It's an amazing list. It's an amazing menu of academic disciplines. Just under 15,000 students enrolled this fall for 4-credit classes, but the college also hosts a vibrant program for non-credit courses for job training and enhancement of work skills, and last year 16,000 individuals attended those non-credit courses. Now, some of you may are very familiar with probably the 2 most outstanding programs for the college are the Leslie Tazzle MTech, which focuses on the workforce training, including building trades and construction, automotive servicing and manufacturing, and the SECIA Institute for Culinary Education. Thanks to Joan and Peter, fabulous citizens of this community. I mean, more than fabulous. Peter had an out-of-body experience on Saturday, trust me. It's only one of 2 culinary arts programs in the United States that have earned the distinction of being continuously accredited for 22 years by the American Culinary Federation. My wife's not a member. Sorry about that. Just a family joke. Actually, she's a fabulous cook. I am not. The community college offers its students an educational platform upon which they can climb the educational ladder. Classes are small, taught by professors, more than 87% of whom hold MA or PhD degrees. As with every generation, students today face financial, social, and sometimes the social issues are more than the others, and academic hurdles. This college is affordable, it's accessible, and it's armed with an ambitious and aggressive scholarship program, which Steve has already discussed a bit ago. Students find flexible schedules to make it possible for them to attend college, even if the classes must be sandwiched between work and family. Community college was and is a springboard for those determined to earn advanced degrees. Many of this country's brightest medical, political, military, corporate, educational professionals have risen from challenging financial circumstances. We all know some of those great people. This college offers a link, literally, a glimpse, a magic key, maybe even a preview of coming attractions to a new and brighter future full of opportunity for those who possess the willpower and the self-discipline to fulfill their individual promise. They're very special people. Your investment in these students will be appreciated. It's really our investment. We've been doing this for a long time, as have many of you in this room. But our investment in these students will be appreciated more than you and I and we will ever know. We are literally changing lives one at a time, every day. We are proud to support this college. Grand Rapids Community College has been part of our family since 1932, actually 1928. Actually, I've got a couple of uncles who went to school. They just can't find the records. They're somewhere. But in any event, we're glad to invest in the future of the students of this great college. We know we made a wise financial decision, and that our investment in you, the students, will be a real bell ringer. Thank you for attending Grand Rapids Community College, and thank you for what you can do when you leave the school to advance yourself in the next level of education. Having said that, now I've got a little editorial comment that is sort of an anecdote to some thoughts, because I'm so passionate about this city and its future. And I want to just say that while community college was the first of its kind in the state and set the curriculum standard and the institutional model for others in this state and many other states, much has changed in the urban college world since this school was founded in 1914. Today, if you are in the secondary education business in West Michigan, you crave to be in this great city in Grand Rapids. Many are already here. West Michigan is here, has been for a long time. Kendall Ferris is here and wishing to expand their footprint. Made a very aggressive bid on the Klingman building to expand their offering. Grand Valley State University, which we're all familiar with. Cooley Law School. Davenport, and I think I just saw a sign on the northeast corner of College and Michigan that Northwood Institute is redoing that building and opening an academic center. We also have schools of cosmetology and the like, and others know more than I. I don't think I've seen a school of phrenology yet, but there's probably one here somewhere. But in fact, we have also long-distance learning and online course civility. This place is hot, folks. This is educationally hot. Competition works. The customer, the customer, Steve's student, is the beneficiary. And our academic leaders, our CEOs, Steve included, must think a little bit, or perhaps a lot more, like their corporate counterparts. It's all about your product offering, your menu of courses, your relevancy, your pricing, your value added, and the convenience and availability and ability to respond on a timely basis to the academic demands of the marketplace. It moves rapidly, more rapidly now than ever before. Some of us are sort of caught in that time warp. It's a new generation, and the skill sets requirements are changing almost daily. But thank you, Grand Rapids Community College. Thank you for your leadership as an educational urban pioneer and icon, a national icon for how to do it. You are more successful than you may have ever possibly wished in 1914. But look at all those who have followed in your footsteps, or as they say, followed the breadcrumbs. Hooray for you, and lucky for us. You have been more successful on so many fronts, and Jesse Buttrick Davis is proud beyond words. Stephen, thanks for your leadership. Thanks to Grand Rapids Community College for its enormous role in the history of the city and the educational future of West Michigan. Stephen, thanks.
Thank you, David. Actually, I want to know what you're doing next week because I want to take you on the road with me. Very great comments on the college, and again, thank you so much for everything that the Frey Foundation and the Frey family and the Frey Foundation Board has done for GRCC. We appreciate you more than you know. Now, I just want to say, wow, did you all hear President Ender? $110,000 for GRCC scholarships? Thank you. I want you all to know that your donations to the GRCC Foundation provide opportunity for our students to succeed and our community to thrive. I would also like to take a minute to introduce you to some of the fall 2015 scholarship recipients. Students, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a look. These are our future community leaders. They represent the hopes and dreams of all of our GRCC students. And if you haven't done so already, I would encourage you to take a few minutes before you leave tonight to introduce yourself and get to know them. I am very proud of these students. And I know they would love to thank you personally for your generous support of their education. Know that your donations to GRCC Foundation change lives. You can have a seat, students. Thanks. Well, that concludes our formal program for tonight. Again, thank you all for coming, and thank you so much to the Frey Foundation. Please continue to enjoy each other's company as you visit the dessert and coffee bars that are located throughout the room. Looks like food is still available too, so eat up. And thank you again for coming. Good night.